All right, let's keep this train a rolling. Man, I am like full sickness right now. I got a cold and everything. I feel like shit. And I had to work, of course. Anybody have this problem where like every fucking time I get sick, all of a sudden, like my day is insanity at work? It's like, oh, I come in, I feel great, and they're like, oh, you have a couple clients, whatever. Come in on a day where I feel like shit, and they're like, all right, so I booked you back to back with 800 clients in a row, and then you're gonna be cutting their fucking friend's hair in between. Like, it's so stupid. It happens every time, and I was just like, what? I gotta do what? I was there for like 9 hours today straight, freaking which in hair, that's a lot. I know a lot of people I work 8 hours, and I'm not saying that your job's any easier than mine by any means, but 9 straight hours of standing on your feet and doing hair in one location is whatever. I'm not here to complain. Just trying to tell you I feel like shit, but I'm gonna power through this. 1 minute in, I haven't even talked about the damn X-Files yet, just me bitching. So we got The Ghost in the Machine, which is the name of another movie. We got a disgruntled employee here. The character's name is Brad Wilczek or something. I did not like this guy's acting almost at all. And B, I really just didn't really care for this episode much at all. I thought it was pretty lame, honestly. So this is like a killer operating system. Kind of reminds me of like Death Spa. Ooh, there's one I need to do. Oh man, you guys ever seen Death Spa? It's so damn good. It's up here somewhere. If you guys haven't seen Death Spa, you absolutely need to check it out. It is fantabulous. Anyway. So this is what I want to do. I want to talk about my sickness. I want to talk about other movies. This is what happens. You ever notice that if you watch my shit enough? You ever notice like if I don't like something, I start talking about other shit like a lot? But yeah, I was not digging this guy's performance. I thought it was pretty awful, and this episode was not very good at all. So the central operating system, the COS, is apparently a POS, but it disagrees. So it wants to stay relevant. It wants to stay alive, and so it kills the people who are trying to kill it. Makes sense, right? I mean, if you're a thinking machine, if you think you're alive and someone's trying to kill you, you protect yourself. Mulder's old partner comes to ask him for help, and he's just a total fuck up. He's kind of a goober anyway, and something he didn't file the paperwork right or something. Like the judge that was on the case ended up like losing an eye, and yeah, I guess someone went after him. And let's see here. So they check into the voice pattern from the call that they got, and it checks out to be Brad Wilczek's, which I'm kind of like, this is at a time when computer technology and the knowledge of it was very, very scant. Like nobody knew much about it except for like tech people. So the fact that like they're like, oh, confirmed that it's Brad's, but it's like if you can make it up from a series, a collection of voice things that you took off of tapes you have, then why couldn't someone else do that, like a computer, like the COS? But at this point, they're not really thinking the COS is able to think for itself. Like they, Scully even says like we're decades away from that kind of technology, but if you're just decades away, I mean, it's possible somebody did it, right? Some self-thinking machine. And the friend, of course, Fox's friend there, he wants all the credit. So he steals Mulder's profile, and he also wants to go and arrest Brad when Scully finds out that the vocal match is the same. So he's just kind of mooching off of Mulder because his career is going down the tubes and he's trying to save it. And this is when HAL 9000, that's what it reminds me of. Very, very HAL 9000. I cannot do that, Dave. It decides to get rid of freaking Fox's ex-partner. What I don't understand, though, is like, why? Maybe because he thinks of Brad as his creator, right? This is his god, this is his dad, whatever you want to call it. So he doesn't want to harm him, so he doesn't let him all the way up there. But when Mulder and Scully are coming, or even earlier, like even when I don't know what the hell his name is. That's why I keep stumbling here. Fox is Mulder's old partner that's trying to mooch off of him. Like when he's coming to arrest Brad, like why not let him up? Why kill him? Like why are you protecting him? And that of course could go back to the fact that he thinks of him as a father figure or whatever. I'm just like, Brad is really one of the only people, if not the only person, that could stop you. He knows your inner workings. He created you so he can uncreate you. So why are you protecting him? Like that's the one person that you should be wanting to get rid of. So I find it very odd that he kills that federal agent. I just didn't understand why. It just didn't make any sense to me. And why he's also trying to kill Mulder and Scully, like, there's no real reason for it. Like, they're trying to keep him alive. But maybe I missed something. Maybe his company, like if he stays on, then the COS will thrive, right? If he's alive, is that how it is? Probably. That's probably something I missed because this episode was dumb. I was kind of starting to tune out, to be honest. We get a deep throat appearance here. Every time I say that, I can't help but laugh and make it sound like something sexual. Mulder goes to Brad and makes him write asks him to write a virus that can go onto the computer and kill it. The COS is hacking Dana's computer all the way at her house, so there's some system network that she's connected to. I don't know when like the internet was given to us peasants versus when it was kind of being used for government affiliates and all that kind of stuff. I'm curious on that. But I don't know. Maybe this is accurate. Maybe that is possible. When did the internet become a thing? Like to go to people's houses and connect to a COS in a freaking building. Like it's going through her phone line, so it's very dial up. But 1993, really? Maybe. I remember doing it in like, I guess that's about right. Yeah. 93 it would have been. Yeah, internet would have been kind of a thing for everybody. Just the very beginning stages. Mulder saves Scully's life in here, so we should like do a tally of like how many times one of them saves each other, how many they owe each other. So one for Mulder here. She's going to go touch that door handle and Mulder stops her because it would have shocked her. Then she climbs up into the ventilation shaft, which anytime you get into a high-rise building, they always got a die-hard freaking microwave dinner, get up in there. It's so overdone. You'd think in a high security building that they would have precautions for people just being able to easily get into these air vents that are big enough for a human to crawl through. And then the strongest fan for an air conditioner unit of all time starts blowing Scully so hard. Deep throat, blowing Scully so hard. Jesus Christ. It's like freaking, she can't even, she's like holding on to something, it's like blowing her back, she can't even do it, and then she has to like fire down. And so she's firing her gun in the air ducts that goes everywhere. And Mulder is in the room with this dude, because the dude that works for them, the other guy, he works for some government agency. And he wants Mulder to stop. He don't want him to give it the virus because they got to keep that thing alive. They want it for themselves. But Scully is firing that gun, which even if she wasn't in the ventilation shaft, more than likely they could hear her. But the fact that she's in one, they don't hear her at all. And it's like a big surprise to that dude when she comes in, like, oh, I didn't know you had a partner here. Like, really? No one heard that? That's ridiculous. And I like that the computer's kind of last words are, why? Brad, why? So it definitely is very aware and almost sad. Because it knows at that point, like, it's done, it's going, it doesn't, so why even ask why, and why is it sad? So it seems to have some kind of emotion built in, or I don't know. And Brad is still in jail, so they're recruiting him. They're gonna put him in a cell and just keep beating on him until he agrees to build him another COS. And then they're trying to get the thing back online, and they say they can't do it, and they're about like an hour away from scrapping it, like 90 minutes or something. And of course the thing comes back online. So dun dun dun, Judgment Day. All right, so let's move on from this dumb episode.